All right. Close the chat real quick. Okay. So I think everybody's probably excited to get into this, dive into this a little bit. So reason why I got Back to the Future, setting up file names for future use, really is to kind of get back to what CDOT users, so everyone at CDOT, consultants, municipalities, other people are used to, okay, I get a file, this is what it is, it's a roadway file. Okay, cool, I know what that is. That's really what we're going back to. It's kind of a little bit of a mix between that and then also kind of what you guys have now on the designations. But what we've done, and we've already got some feedback from actually quite a few of the different regions on this, on the file naming, and it really coincides with, I believe there was a group that put some file naming together a couple years ago. So we really wanted to make sure that we're getting this up to date. And again, this isn't final, but this is something that we'll be working on through the CAD manual with the regions, but we will be doing that. So that's kind of the background of this as well, of what you guys have now and what you're going to be able to do here in the future, with the manual and also with updates to the workspace that coincide with that manual, like Sahar was saying here, you know, a year or so down the road. But again, this is what we're really trying to move towards. The file naming for the file type. So again, we have design and modeling. We also have production. We have, right, spreadsheets, all sorts of different things. So what will be included, and I'll go ahead and pop this up real quick. So the file naming convention here. So starting off, what we're planning on doing is what everybody's been used to, of the file name itself, right? Everything will be in capital letters, and that's for DGNs, Excels, docs, you know, any kind of file that is going into that project. That way everything matches. And again, there's a meaning to the madness behind this. Once we get into folder structure, we'll walk through why some of these are named the way that they are. But again, hopefully this is a lot easier for folks, a lot more useful for folks on being able to identify not only what the file is, but what you have referenced. And okay, I have this file reference and it's got 10 different acronyms on it. I have no idea what it is. Well, we've tried to really simplify that down to, okay, a few acronyms and those acronyms that actually coincide with what they are. So the project number, as always, that's always been there, always will be. Again, we're using, for the training purposes, as you guys will see through the files, we're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for some projects. We're using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for projects. We have some different elements that we're working with within the data sets. So that's why we have those numbers. So project number, and then following that, you're going to have a 3-letter discipline designation. So again, a specialty, three-letter discipline, specialty group designation. So what that means is we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So environmental, ENB, general files, GEN, roadway files, RDY, survey files, SRV. So we really tried to make sure that the acronym made sense with what it is. So that first designation after your project number is going to identify where that resides in your specialty group. So if it's an RDY, it should go in roadway, right? If it's environmental, HYD, hydraulics, it will go into hydrology and hydraulics. So we really tried to make sure that this fit better for everyone than I think what it is now is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, HW 005, 8, just a whole bunch of different numbers. Those numbers do mean something in the attribute world down the road, which is something that we do want to make sure that we cover, but that can be done after a file has been created and everything like that. So those are the 3 designation. Then after that, what we'll have is we're going to have the type of file, again, a 3-letter designation after that of what it is. So for instance, we'll have project number, it'll be a roadway file, and in this sense, it'll be a container. So as you go down to the file type designations, sorry about that, you will see like B&D will be boundary files, container files, corridor models, calculation files, a lot of spreadsheets, control point files. So like if you have edge control points or other control points that you're controlling your model with, different elements like that, geometry, plan, report, and so on and so forth. We did add a couple of different ones in here, one called LIN and one called MOD. The reason for those is LIN is for those files that are non-attributed, that are just line work. Sometimes a right-of-way file may or may not have attributes to it. It just depends on where it is in that project, what type of project it is, and what kind of metadata is associated to it. So if there is metadata and it is attributed, that's when we would go to an MOD file, because that MOD means, hey, this is attributed information. It contains data. So for instance, landscaping files, lighting files, different files like that will be an LIN file if it is not attributed. If it's attributed, that means it will be an MOD file. So again, that starts to help differentiate what is data intensive and what is not. So file designation, or for the file description, sorry about that. The description itself, what we'll do again is what everyone's been used to in the past, and I think currently too, of being able to give that description. What is it? What kind of file is this? Again, utilizing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roadway container, have state highway, whatever state highway it is, should have that description that it is a roadway container for state highway, whatever that example is. So I know that's quite a bit, excuse me, to cover, but that is, excuse me, where we ended up with the file naming. Sorry, I'm not used to talking this much. So from there, that's the file naming. So Zara, you can stop recording and we can ask questions.